What's up, people? All right, check this out. Yeah, it's a little late. The game got over kind of late, and I had to run and do something real quick before I put this on. Before I get um to what the real substance of what I want to talk about in this video, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. Okay, Jake motherfucking Moody, you're a fucking piece of trash. You suck. You can't even make fucking extra points. Bro, you're garbage. You should have been gone this motherfucking offseason when they said they had a kicking competition. It wasn't a competition. They just brought somebody in for optics to look like it was a fucking kicking competition. It wasn't. Okay. And then Kyle Shanahan, the quote that he said, I'm gonna paraphrase, but what's up, Daniel Berry Sports? Kyle Shanahan should be ashamed of himself for saying that he thinks Jake Moody looked good in practice and in the preseason games. And then he has the nerve to say, we'll see how it goes during the season. How many games does this guy have to lose for us before you finally fucking admit that you fucked up by drafting a kicker in the top 100? This is some bullshit. And Kyle Shanahan should be held solely responsible. That means fire his ass, then fire his ass. I don't give a fuck anymore. Jake Moody is a liability. He should not be on this fucking roster. But because this organization drafted him so fucking high, they're doing everything they can to gaslight the fans, blow smoke up our asses, and try to justify taking a kick in the top 100. And to be honest, you can't justify that. You can't. There's no justification for it. So I can't believe I got to jump on here and the first thing I talk about is I got to rant about a stupid fucking kicker. God, I hate this fucking kid. Damn, I hate Jake Moody so goddamn much. I've hated the pick since they first made it. No team, I'm talking all 32, no team in the NFL should ever draft a special team. When I say special teams, for a kicker, punter, none of that. You should never draft them in the top 100 picks, ever. Is ridiculous. Jake Moody, I am tired of watching this kid miss just simple shit. He missed what, the 26 yarder when we played the Raiders, or almost missed the 26 yarder when we played the Raiders, and now he's missing extra points. This shit's ridiculous. It really, really is. But all right, anyway, I'm gonna get off the Jake Booty shit, and I'm gonna talk about a couple things I saw from this game. I will say I'm gonna start here. I believe out of the position groups that are gonna be the hardest to figure out who to cut, come cut down, is the linebackers. The Niners are deep at linebacker. I didn't think we were that deep at linebacker. But we have a deep linebacker core this year. And it's going to be real hard come cut down if one of them don't make it. It's going to be hard for them to figure out the exact right mix on linebacker. because we're really deep there. So yeah, I like what I saw from the linebackers that played tonight. Nick Martin really showed out. Curtis Robinson, he looks like he's back from his ACL. I know when he broke it, or when he blew his knee out, he was expected to have a pretty big role, and then blew his knee out right before the season started last year. So I'm glad to see Curtis Robinson looking really good. Like I said, Nick Martin looked good. Tatum Bethune has looked good. Yeah, this cut down is going to be really hard at the linebacker spot. I think with at the secondary, I think with Jacob Robinson breaking his arm, like Kyle Shanahan said toward the end of the game, he broke his arm. With him breaking his arm, either they're going to IR him or they're going to cut him and give him an injury settlement. I would IR him. He's a young DB that looks like he can play. So if they IR him because of the broken forearm, then that opens up another roster spot that we might not have had, and somebody can sneak on to this roster. I will say this, Sky Moore, you look like trash. I don't give two fucks if you're supposedly this really good return man or whatever. Sky Moore, you suck. You can't catch a cold. You suck. Just straight up, you suck. I don't know why we made that trade. Sky Moore is doo-doo. He sucks. And then, so I don't know who's going to be a return man. It could still be Junior Bergen, even though he fumbled one tonight. Garendo, I don't know why he was out there. Garendo doesn't look fully healthy. That shoulder's still bothering him. Honestly, I think Garendo was out there just to see if he could be RB3, because Kyle Shanahan said the reason we made the trade for Brian Robinson is Brian Robinson comes in and he's already RB2, which is cool. I'm good with that. But I was coming into a season, if Garendo wasn't going to be RB2, I was looking at someone like a Jordan James being RB2. I really think Jordan James is going to be a really good running back for us. He was really good at Oregon. I don't care what, you can have all these naysayers and shit, but I know what I saw. He was really good at Oregon. The man like 15 touchdowns last year. So the only position that start going into week one that I'm still a little iffy about is this wide receiver room. I want to see how it looks. We got 2 weeks before week one. We know Pearsall is going to start as the one, unless JJ's back and they put him at the one. I don't know. But week one, our wide receiver core could end up looking like Pearsall, JJ. I think Jordan Watkins will probably be back by week one. So we'll see what that's all about. But yeah, I think Jordan Watkins will be back. And then the number 4 after that, I don't know. I will say, though, come week 4, I'm looking really forward to Demarcus Robinson. I think the Rams at some point this season will probably be kicking themselves for letting Demarcus Robinson go, because that guy looks like he is a really good wide receiver, really solid. Veteran, knows how to get open, has really good hands. He might not be the fastest, but you don't always got to be the fastest. You just know how to, all you got to do is know how to set the DBs up while running your routes, create a little bit of separation, have some good hands, and you're golden. But yeah, that our backup O line is no bueno. I mean, there's a couple youngsters that have flashed like they could potentially be something. They'll probably make the roster for depth. And I just hope they continue to get better, like Connor Colby and Drew Moss, the undrafted kid we got. So yeah, I think we could end up with a little more depth than we might have thought on the O-line, but that's it, like guard and shit. I still don't know what we're doing at tackle. I mean, I guess Burford must have secured a spot because I didn't see Burford out there today. Unless I just didn't notice him. Which a lot of times when you don't hear a O-lineman's name called, that's usually a good thing. But I didn't notice Spencer Burford out there today. So and then on the D line, I think this D line is going to have some nice depth. I will say Sebastian Valdez, the UDFA tackle we got out of Washington. This kid needs to make this roster. He can play at this level. Oh, I agree, CPG. Fuck preseason, but it gives you a chance to see what young guys are gonna do and stuff like that. Damn, what up, Sense? You should jump on here real quick. I put the link in. You jump on here real quick, and we'll talk about the season. What up, fam? But I think Sebastian Valdez should make this roster. He's shown he could play. He played almost the entire yeah, CPG. He played almost this entire game. He was really collapsing that pocket. He was showing a good run defense. So I think Sebastian Valdez should make this roster. And that way we can have a really healthy rotation at a D line, like the last time when Robert Saleh was here, how he used to like to rotate our D linemen like crazy. Yeah, we need that again. Keep a lot of these guys fresh. Hopefully cut down on injury risk because right now we're, holy crap. I don't know how we go through with the 2 injuries on the quarterbacks tonight. That gives us 4 injured quarterbacks. I mean, we drafted one guy injured. We knew he was going to be, so that's one. And then Mac Jones got a little bit of a knee problem. And then it looked like both the quarterbacks that played tonight, Carter Bradley and Tanner Mordecai, got some type of ankle injuries. They gutted it out and played through, but you could see them both limping on the field throughout the game. So it's not good. But with what we got at quarterback 3 and quarterback 4 with Carter Bradley and Tanner Mordecai, I don't really think we're gonna have a third QB on the roster. But I mean, you never know. Like I said, with that Jacob Robinson injury, that could open up where we do keep a third quarterback on the roster, on the 53. I think we might just waive both those guys and see which one, if not both, makes it through waivers and pick one to put on the practice squad. But yeah, I was just watching this game and it's just like, Jesus, are you serious with these damn injuries? The running backs and receivers. Hey, you right, CPG? I've been on Jake Booty's head. That motherfucker is garbage. Garbage. He missed 10 kicks last year. The motherfucker, go rewatch that Raider game and watch how bad he hooked the 26-yarder. He made it, but watch how bad he hooked the 26-yarder. If that shit was at 27 yards, he misses. 27? And then he missed the extra point tonight. I was just like, God damn. Jake Moody is ass cheeks. Fuck, I hate that guy. I hated that draft pick since the day we made it. Fuck. Why does the shit behind me keep going black? I got a fucking light on my camera. It should be lighting everything up. Well, oh well. Let's see. Oh, that just makes me brighter. Yeah, we can. Yeah, just get at me. We could do that, especially for a Monday night game. Oh, you talking sense? My bad. But for Monday night, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a good deep D line. This year it's not gonna be as bad as. Okay, CPG, I got you. Our D line's not gonna be as bad as some of these content creators were saying early on, and other Niner fans and stuff like that. It's gonna be deep. We're gonna have a nice rotation. Oh, yeah, Sense. Look, bro, every time we draft the linebacker, I don't complain about the pick. I don't downplay the pick, because if there's one organization that knows how to draft and develop linebackers, it's us. But yeah, Nick Martin was, not only did he play good tonight, it seemed every tackle he made, he was dropping the hammer on someone. I mean, he was out there sticking people. The biggest thing that everybody's been saying about Nick Martin, though, Sense, is, well, he's undersized and yeah, shut up. If you look at this draft class, almost every single linebacker in this draft class, and at least the ones a lot of people really liked, were considered undersized. You know, so as long as he could play, and it looks like he can, I mean, you know, there's still some things he's got to work on. Of course, he's a rook. Like, getting a little too hyper sometimes. That's why he overruns a lot of plays. You know, he just, once the game slows down a little bit more for him, Nick Martin's going to be like Dre Greenlaw level. I really, really think that. Nick Martin is that type of guy. I mean, if he didn't get hurt in 24 last year, coming out in the draft, this kid was on pace to have a season like he had in 23 or better, where he had like 135 goddamn tackles. He had 5 or 6 sacks. He had a pick. He had TFL. He had all of that. He was one of the leading tacklers in college football in 23. And in the 5 games he played, he was already averaging 10 to 11 tackles a game that year. So he was on pace to have back-to-back seasons where he was going to have 135, 140 tackles. But the good thing about that knee injury with Martin is he didn't need any surgery. So he didn't tear no ligaments or anything like that. So, but yeah, Nick Martin, I'm really pleased with. After that first preseason game, when you looked at him and you're like, yeah, this dude's a rookie. He is way too hyper. He's been nails ever since. One person I think didn't have that great of a game after having two really good ones was why am I forgetting names? The DB. Oh, Chase Lucas. Which I think Chase Lucas, he might make the squad because he could be our backup nickel to Upton Stout if we need one, because I do believe Upton Stout's locked in that starting nickel job. But overall, I am, from what I've seen, what up, Seahawk Eddie? From what I've seen in these 3 games with this draft class, I am pretty pleased with what I've seen with this draft class. Now, I know there's a few guys we didn't get to see a lot of because of injuries. Like our first round pick, it sucks. He hyperextended his knee, but he's supposed to be back at practice this week, probably Monday or something. He'll be back. Upton Stout will be back. We didn't get to see a lot from those guys, but the rest of this draft class, I am really impressed with. It looks like we found a lot of guys that can play. Now I get it, and I'm not getting too far in the weeds on this and hyping them up too much because I get it. It's just preseason. But I like to look for development to see if, like, say they make a mistake in week 1 of preseason, to see if in the next game or the game after that, if they've cleaned those mistakes up and they're showing progress and they look like they're developing. And I've seen that from almost all of them. I mean, Alfred Collins, the big D tackle we drafted, his biggest issue was the pad level. I mean, it's still a little inconsistent, but he has shown strides and he's shown development to where he's keeping that pad level lower now and he's moving bodies on that D line, which is what we need. A big 6'5", 330-pound D tackle that's going to take up double teams and not get moved and move people out of the way. That's what we need. And then, CJ West, and both these guys, over the course of the season and their careers and as it goes on, they can develop more pass rush if they want. I've never been the hugest person on worrying about if a D tackle is going to give me 10 to 11 fucking sacks a year. I don't need my D tackles to do that. That's what edge rushers are for. That's what D coordinators for, to drop certain blitzes and get people home, run some 5-man fronts if you need to or want to. But yeah, my D tackles, I just need them to stop the run, clog up the running lanes, make the running backs run sideways and not straight downhill. Because then when that happens, now we got our linebackers to clean that up. And we got the best linebacker in the world in Fred Warner to clean all that shit up. So, I think this defense will be really good a lot sooner than people think. And especially with Robert Saleh back and what Robert Saleh just the little bits and pieces he has shown so far with some of these different blitz packages that he has put out there. So I think now I don't know how it's going to end up. I know he's not going to get cut on cut down, but I think Jair Brown is going to be on the bench and maybe sub in and out, at least to start the season, because I think that the rookie we drafted out of K-State, Marquise Siegel, has taken his spot. I like Siegel. He's a hitter. He's real fast, instinctual type safety. I would like to see him get his hands on the ball a little bit more. Pause. But he has shown he can play the run really well. We'll have to see. I mean, now you got to see when the season starts what he's going to be like as a deep cover safety. And that's where I think we should use Siegel a lot because of his speed and how he could just close distances and stuff like that. Yeah, he should be the over-the-top help. I know Jason Pinnock's probably going to get the start, which, whatever. But, yeah, overall, I am happy with the development I've seen from the youngsters, and I think defensive-wise, I think we're good. Offense, we know, is going to be our O-line, and then maybe week 1 into week 2, maybe the receiving core. I don't know, though, because I think, like I said, none of these injuries have been super bad as far as the receivers that are going to get a lot of time. They're not super long injuries, and stuff like that. So I think we'll be able to make do and stuff like that with what we're going to roll into week 1 with. Still not 100% sure the lineup, how it's going to look exactly. But if Jawan Jennings is back, I know the top 2 are going to be JJ and Pearsall. Number 3 is where the question starts coming in for me for week 1. I mean, it could be Jordan Watkins. If he's ready to go by week 1, which we still got another 2 weeks, he should be. So Jordan Watkins, if he's ready, he could be the number 3 come week 1. Who knows? Maybe you have somebody like Robbie Chosen just because he's a veteran. And I do know that Kyle Shanahan likes at least one veteran in the wide receiver room. I would say Russell Gage, but Gage hurt himself, so he won't be available week 1, which sucks because it seemed like Russell Gage was having a decent camp. I'm not hyping him up or nothing like that, but, he's a veteran, and he looks like he's got decent hands, knows how to run some routes. So I think Russell Gage was going to take over that veteran role for us that Kyle Shanahan likes to have at least one veteran he could trust on the linebacker or in the wide receiver room, not linebacker, my bad. So, yeah, I'm not. And then the running back, I mean, come on, we already know. Our running backs going into week 1, CMC 1, Brian Robinson 2, and then after that, it's whoever they decide they want as the third. But I don't think it should be Garendo, not because of his play, Not because I know he fumbled 3 times in a row the other day in practice. It's make sure that shoulder is 100% healthy. Like I said, it wasn't tonight. You could tell on that one special teams play where he went down for, it was either the muff or he tackled the guy, one of the two, but he dove in there and he got up, favoring his shoulder, went over to the sideline. He shook it off because he came back in the game, but he's not 100%. I don't want to see these guys. I get it. You're competing for roster spots, but I don't think Guerendo is. Guerendo, I think, is just competing for what order in the running back room he's going to be. I think Guerendo already has a roster spot. So not being 100% healthy, I didn't feel he should have been out there doing what he was doing because that shoulder is fucked up. So I don't want to see things like that with these guys. If you're not 100% and it's something like a shoulder and a running back with a bad shoulder, man, one good pop coming through that hole, and now you're probably going to need surgery. Your whole season's over. It can fuck with your career if it's bad enough. There's no reason to do that stupid shit. But, you know, it is what it is. That's who they put out there. You know, I think Jeff Wilson will make the roster. Not like I want him to, but I think he will. He's been running hard. But it's Jeff Wilson. We know what we're going to get out of him as Niner fans. So yeah. But week 1, I mean, whatever. I'll talk about that more in depth, you know, in a later video. But I've already been on here for a half hour. I don't really need to break down every single play, every single player. I'm just pointing out what I've seen in a lot of the young guys and some of the dudes I think that should make this 53 because of how they've been playing. So that's about all I got tonight, folks. I'm going to log off here. I'm out. Bye.